Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to talk to you guys about something very closely related to this opening cinematic that you're watching right now. You're probably asking yourself, Cynicalex, what the fuck is going on? Did you lose your hands in a freak accident over at the fucking welding factory that you work at? Why are you on this opening cinematic? Please tap the screen button. I can't stop complaining about the new opening graphics and how bad quality they are, or how they make me use my fingers again when I'm playing a fucking mobile game, so I'm already using my fingers about as much as someone whose profession I'd rather not discuss on a video with you guys, because I don't want my video to get flagged. But anyways, guys, why am I not fingering my screen right now? Well, it's a very good question, and I'm here to answer it for you. And the answer is actually not in that cinematic that you're watching, but in the original cinematic that I've linked below in the description that has audio. The audio of which includes voice acting. Now that's something that I've talked about on stream once, and I think I've mentioned briefly in a video a long time ago, but it's something that I want to go over more in depth now here today with you guys, because it's something that I honestly think would enrich this game so much, and I would, do so many things, both legal and illegal, to get that in the game. So, specifically speaking, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about voice actors for all of the characters in the game. Now, I know that that's a pretty lofty goal to set for yourself when you've already got a roster of 96 characters. I know that that would be a lot for voice actors to get done, but we do have some hope. The hope I obviously have because I'm a delusional narcissist, but also because that opening cinematic that I was talking to you guys about includes both Thanos giving his soliloquy or his syllogism or whatever the fuck he's doing, talking about how he's gonna basically butt rape everybody, which is definitely not a bad experience. It's a unique experience for sure. And then Doctor Strange comes in, but doesn't say a word because he's like the Link, I guess, of this story. And then Thanos introduces himself, or introduces Doctor Strange for us. But the point I'm trying to make is Netmarble went so far as to have a voice actor for Thanos in that clip. Now that clip could just be to drum up excitement about the Doctor Strange update, but it could also be more, and I want to be one of those hopelessly romantic and optimistic people that believes that it is more and it could be more down the road. And specifically what I'm talking about is, as I said, having every character with voiceover done by voiceover actors in some way or another. Now, of course, there's a lot of different ways you can go about this, and I don't think Netmarble has the money to employ or to pay for certain actors to do their authentic voices. So, I mean, maybe they could get Paul Rudd to do Ant-Man. He seems like a cool guy. He'll probably do it for like a blunt and a sandwich. But like, for guys like Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., and Hemsworth, whatever. I mean, he's so dreamy, but he's also a $1 million actor. He probably wants to get paid for his time, and so we would probably have to get our thrift shop bargain bin voice actors. But I don't care. I actually don't give a shit. I would do the fucking voice acting if I had the voice for it, and if they could make my voice sound authentic, and if it fit the character and the mood of the game. And I think just the idea is so amazing to me, and like it hypes me so much to imagine a world where I can zone into the game, and when I'm playing these characters, they're actually emoting and they're saying and they're voicing some portion of their personality or their attitude, even just generically. I mean, there's obviously millions of things that the characters could say, but I think it would be good to do it, and I kind of see it, to relate it to another game, I kind of see it in kind of a Hearthstone-y way. If you guys aren't familiar with Hearthstone, when you play a card, it has a play, animation, but more importantly in this case, it has a play sound, like a play sound effect. And then when it attacks, it has a different effect, and when it dies, it has a third effect. Now, I can totally see doing away with the death effect or the death sound, because in a game like this, it's kind of kicking someone when they're down. If you're dying and you're losing characters, let's say it's World Boss, you don't want to hear that death effect. I'm not going to imitate it, but you guys know what I mean. You can probably hear it from your mom's room when the doors are closed. But anyways, we can probably scrap the death effect, and we can probably scrap the attack effect, because unlike Hearthstone, where you only attack once per turn and the game is very slow paced, the pacing of this game is incredibly fast, especially if you're whizzing around with someone like Doctor Strange. And so to have like constant attack emotes would just be really annoying, and it would just totally take over the game, and it would make the in-game sound effects and the in-game music totally pointless. Now, I do want to say that this video is not to make criticism of the in-game sounds. I think the in-game sounds in this game are beautiful. I honestly think they're some of the best, if not the best, mobile like sounds I've heard. Not necessarily the sound effects, but the music. The music is so hype. Like, this could probably be the music for like a fucking PC game. So you're getting PC level, in my opinion, you're getting PC level sounds at, you know, a mobile game price. But what I'm basically talking about, and I'll give you guys an example of what I'm thinking about here. So if we do away with the attack sounds and we do away with the death sounds, what are we left with? Well, we're left with a play sound. And so what I think would be fucking awesome, they could also have like a victory or a defeat sound. So for example, if you lose the match, the person who killed you would say something. And then if you won, then the leader of your party would say something, or maybe all three of your characters could have like a cheer sound where they just like yay or something like that. But for example here, so my Thanos is gonna fight Yellow Jacket. Let's say on some fucking twisted dimension, Yellow Jacket ends up killing my Thanos legitimately, or he just ends up killing my Thanos. Then maybe Yellow Jacket says something that the character would say, like, you know, I stole Hank's Pym particles and I fucked him in the ass. I don't know, like he says something. And then if Thanos wins, he'll be like, you know, I've conquered another world or something like that. You know, don't deny me the sweet embrace of death, or something like that. So there could be some kind of victory or defeat sound, but there could also be like a play sound. So when I already passed the moment because I was fucking too stupid and I was talking when it happened. But when I initially zoned in and I tapped on the start screen, and Thanos, and I could see my character and I was ready to play, Thanos could then say something like, you know, I'm here to take what's rightfully mine, for example. Thank you, Benson, for the Dimension Rift. So, you know, and he could say that every time. It doesn't really matter who he's talking to. He could have that voiceover where he's like, you know, I shall conquer this world as I've conquered all others before it, or something like that. And that adds so much to the game. I mean, from a perspective of a casual fan, it's fucking awesome, because you're getting these additional sounds, you're learning stuff about the characters, and it's just a really fun experience to hear these sounds every time you play. And it makes even, oh fuck, I almost killed him. It makes even the most boring of game modes, for like co-op, for example, it makes them a lot more interesting and a lot more fun, because you get these moments in between. I mean, the parts in the middle are boring when you're just like blowing through the villain siege, or you're blowing through the co-op boss because it's just way too underleveled for your character. But you get these small gaps and these small moments of like pure joy when the character is having like a voiceover, and I think that would just make the game, it would enrich the game so much. I would love to see that, and I say it now and I stand firmly by it. I would pay like a solid amount of money to support Netmarble if they needed, you know, if they wanted to implement something like that in the game. Like if there was like a voiceover special fucking Black Friday pack, and it was like, you know, whatever, $50, $100, I'd pay that shit in a second. Because it's just, I think it would make the game so much more fun, not only for me when I'm playing by myself, but also, and you know, it's not really that important to you guys, but to me, because I'm presenting this game to you guys and I'm trying to enjoy the game that I play in your presence, it would make it so much more fun to enjoy, because in those moments where I'm not speaking, or when the game's not having some flashy moment, the character could still be speaking, and that would say so much, and that would add so much emotion and energy to the game that would otherwise never be there, because you otherwise just have the game sounds. And again, it sounds like I'm knocking the game sounds. I'm not knocking the game sounds. I'm just saying that it's very easy for our brains, you know, psychologically speaking, to just tune it out after you've heard it so many times, looped endlessly. So to have these new and refreshing sounds would be just like, honestly, be like having a baby. I liken this to being a father. If I'm not already a father, but that's up for the internet trolls to decide and to find out. I don't know. Anyways, guys, but it actually has a few deeper layers. So I mentioned before about, you know, so Thanos zones in against Yellow Jacket and he says some generic comment. Well, there could be, and again, this would depend on if this project ever even launched. It would depend on whether Netmarble had the kind of money to make multiple sounds and embed into the game multiple sounds for different characters. So I understand it would increase the file size of the game by quite a bit to have these sounds like hosted within the architecture, whatever. I get that. I don't know how big the sound files would have to be. Hopefully it's not too unfathomable a request that I'm making. Of course, there are some characters who I guess wouldn't make sounds or would just have like grunts and stuff. I don't know. Maybe Hulkbuster would just be like bleep bloop. But even for Hulkbuster, it would be awesome if he said like, you know, Veronica's gonna kiss you goodnight or something like that. But what I was trying to get to, where they could add multiple voiceover lines and multiple different texts, is for when certain characters interact with certain other characters. So I understand right off the bat that there are some characters who have way too many interactions to make each one unique. I mean, for example, Iron Man, Captain America, and Thanos have probably interacted with every single fucking character in this game at least once. So we're not going to make, you know, 100 different voiceover animations for each of those 3 characters. I would fucking love that, don't get me wrong. I would pay $200 for that or whatever. I would be ecstatic for that. But I understand that that's unreasonable for sure, 100%. But if they could add a few more, how fucking cool would it be if I go to this Yellow Jacket mission and I zone in with Ant-Man and they have like this extended, you know, like Ant-Man has a unique unique phrase that he says. He's like, yo, give me back the pin particles, you bald motherfucking Dr. Clean, Mr. Clean fucking ripoff. And then Yellow Jacket says something like, I'm gonna fucking traumatize your kids and fuck up your house, bro. And it could reference the movie, it could reference the comics, whatever. Like, it would just be mind-blowingly, it's mind-blowingly cool, and yet, at least in theory, I don't know the developer side of it, but at least in theory, it sounds not that difficult to implement, or not that complicated or costly. Again, I could be totally wrong, guys. Please let me know in the comments, but these are just, you know, my thoughts coupled with the limited intelligence I have from only snorting like 7 or 8 crayons in kindergarten. So you could have different interactions. You know, you go into World Boss against Supergiant, and you are Black Bolt, and then she's like, yo, bitch, I thought I had you on fucking mind control. And then Black Bolt's like, shh, because, you know, he can't really talk. Like, if you read the comics, guys, just fucking read the comics. Anyways, there are so many opportunities in this game to have cute, cool, fun, scary, whatever, like so many different an emotional variety of sound effects, of character voiceovers, that it would just be awesome. Like, how awesome would it be if they had voiceovers in Shadowland? Just even if they just had it for the 25th floor. Like, if the guy who does Daredevil in the show is watching my videos, and I hope he is, if you did a dude, I don't know what I can't remember what your name is, but you're a good actor. If you did a voiceover for no, not for King of the Hill. If you did a voiceover for this guy when you get to the 25th floor, and you had like just like one line, like, or one sentence, like whatever, 5-6 words, that would be fucking insane. That would be so hype. I don't know, maybe it's just me, guys, maybe I love voiceovers too much, I don't know, but I just think it would be amazing. And then you could even have things where characters have like a very short interaction just verbally, through voiceovers when you zone into certain missions. So for example, like the story missions would be pretty boring because in some of them you don't really fight against a hero, you just fight against like a generic foe. So like for example, this one, these are just fucking like a bunch of scientists and robots and fucking jerk-offs and janitors that you're beating the shit out of. And then the boss is like an upgraded janitor who's got his like, you know, his masters in mopping, and he's wearing like a Supreme t-shirt. So in that case, you know, instead of having voiceovers there because you don't want to hear fucking Mophead talking, you know, you could have voiceovers within the team, and they kind of have that with the little speech bubbles when you have Dimension Rift. What is it called? Not Dimension Rift. When you have the shifters. So the shifters come in and they'll say something like a speech bubble. Well, imagine if instead of the speech bubble, they actually voiced over something. So let's say I zone in with this team now. I'm not going to do it because I want to waste the energy. But I zone in with this team, and Clea says, like, fucking Doctor Strange, pound my pussy after this mission. I don't know what she would say. But anyways, it would be really cool if she said something, or if the characters had some like little interaction. And I just think in a game like this is based on the comics, guys, and the comics is all about world building, universe building. Like, that's all what Kevin Feige, whatever the fuck his name is, that's all what Mr. Kevin is about with the movies, and building this like unified universe, and having all of the characters at one point or another come into contact with each other, whether it's directly or it's through references. And just to see that come to life in a game like this, which I would argue is one of the truest representations of Marvel, at least probably, and definitely the most true on mobile platforms, to have that same level of continuity and of connectedness, and of like that holistic feeling that they're going for in the movies, and that they're trying to tie into obviously to the comic books and stuff to sell their products. If they could introduce that in this game, and I hope I'm making a fucking reasonable pitch here for anybody with power who's listening, it would just be so fucking unreal. It would just blow my socks off. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I really hope that you have and you share the same enthusiasm as I do for this idea. And if you have ways to improve on it, if you have suggestions, or if you know any of the cost or the details involved in a project like this, just to shed some more insight on it so we can learn about it, please let me know in the comments, guys. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.